Alright, so I'm at chapter 31 of Vinland Saga, making slow progress. Got a lot of series on the go. But I am definitely enjoying it. Am I hooked? Nowhere near. Is it anywhere near my top 10 so far? Absolutely not. But I'm like, I don't even think I'm at the introduction arcs yet. So definitely still have high hopes based on what everyone's saying. Askeladd is 100% my favorite so far in terms of conniving, has a plan, drawing the focus, intelligence. Like, he is what is my current investment in the story. The prince, whose name I do not know, is probably the one that I have the most hope for in terms of a story progression and arc, as we see him in a position where he is very more meek and very purposeful in his intentions, what he says. He knows the political consequences of what he does, and that kind of got him fearful. But I hope to see him grow into a leader that can be worthy of whatever is happening. The guy with the cone head shape, Ragnar, I believe, the advisor, I like him, his loyalty to the prince. I definitely enjoyed that element. Thorfinn. Nothing hooking me with him yet. I'm told people love him. I'm told by people that he has a great arc and whatever going on, and a corruption and vengeance and stuff like that. I like his need to defeat Askeladd. I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm sure he'll get better. He hasn't grown on me yet, but based on reputation, I hope I will soon. What else? I don't have that much else to say. The plot is very middle of the road for me. Everything's very average. I'm enjoying myself. I like the elements that are presented. I'm just waiting to be hooked, and I do have a tendency to have to take a little bit of time for a series to fully hook me, and then once I'm hooked, I'm in, like, obsession levels. So I'm just waiting for that moment. On to past Jessica reading this arc. Book 2. The cat's looking at me like he really wants this plastic. Alright, so I'm always looking over here at Newfoundland, but all the marks are over in this spot right here. So I guess this is where we are for this journey of the book. I'm really wondering if at any point in time we're going to go over in this general direction. Oh, that's pretty, but it looks unfortunate, because right now I'm rooting for this buddy. Okay. Alright, I don't think anyone's going to judge me for liking Askeladd the most, and I'm just going to run with that pronunciation of the name. So they set the fire, and it's like, oh, look at that one burn. And watching people burn alive with the intention of confusing everyone and separating the prince to go save him. Save him. If he gets burned alive, either way, it's a gamble on our part. If our plan ends up burning the prince, whatever his last name is, alive, we can play dumb. Who could prove we had hands in any of this? And just like the shadow on his face. And I'm just like, I love this man. He's conniving, manipulative out for himself. Because, like, yeah, we could have joined with the other 400 men and have equal numbers, be 500 total, same number as this monster that we're fighting. And he's just like, you can't beat this man on equal numbers. Plus, those other guys would take all the glory. I'm not fighting him for free. I loved him. So anywho, they dump water on, I should know his name. I do know his name. I swear I know his name. Thorfinn. I knew that. I swear I knew that. So they dump water on him. Because why is he getting all the terrible jobs? And they throw him, well, put him on a horse, and send him into the fire to get the prince. I don't know what the cat's knocking over. But it's ridiculous. Oh my god. But he charges through the smoke with his spear out, ready to stab whoever he sees. He almost kills his own comrade, the advisor to the prince. And he's like, you fool, who charges in with a spear out? You could have killed the prince. You're a disgrace to my company. He's like, Your Highness, I'm so sorry. Then they hear other voices. Hey, comrades and prince, is that you? It's like, yes, we're over here, we're friendly. And Buddy's like, see, this is how you should approach somebody. And the guy who just charged in with spear, yeah, we're over here, that's all good, just careful not to attack. Yeah, we're good, we're on your side. Spear comes, stabs him through the gut. He was clearly the enemy, just trying to get to them. Oh my god, dummies. It's hilarious, though. Okay, why is the horse... Did we have to light the horse on fire? Its mane and tail are on fire. Thorfinn jumps down. He's fine. Oh, he's got his assassin style going on. No, he is an assassin. He just went, psh, and he's gone. They lost him. We're gonna chalk that up to the smoke. Ooh, God Almighty! Hello, Maven. He just stabbed him straight through the neck. Thorfinn! How? You're Thorfinn, right? Over here! It's the crazy monster Thorkill guy. He wants to continue his fight. Look at his face! He's so excited. Okay, Thorkill knew his Thorfinn's father and called him a true warrior, the only man stronger than he was. Okay, the forest is kind of burning down around them. So he's like, you can have the prince for now, we'll resume this later. He really wants to continue that fight, and I'm all for it. Alright, so they're getting a ferry, which is guy in a rowboat, to bring a message across the water to anyone with authority. Tell them the message is from Askeladd, son of Lydia. He's always said son of Olaf, so Lydia, or Lydia, however it's pronounced, is his mother. Okay, the ferry and boatman guy clearly knew who that was, or who he is, that name. Interesting. Oh my god, can we stop killing the horses, please? So, they end up getting away from Thorkill because they were chasing him. We had a couple panels of how quick they were moving, and, like, barely sleeping at night, getting ahead as fast as they can because Thorkill was kept catching up. And they got to a meeting point right on the river where they got some boats to go to Wales, who are not the best friends with the English, but hopefully the future king, the prince that they're protecting, who looks more like a princess, apparently. I mean, I'm just seeing the long hair. I mean, sure, maybe. But they're just like too soft. It's like, he'll grow up. So I'm wondering if Askeladd is going to purposely put him in danger to try and toughen him up. Is that part of the reason that he's not letting them take any of the ships to get to his home and safety faster? He's going to force them to walk through. Are we in Wales? I only half pay attention to locations. Yeah, Wales. But it could also be that he genuinely cares about the town, small kingdom area, set up village that these ships are needed to protect. Who knows? But anywho, arrows shoot down. I also like the guy with the big ears because he apparently heard that something was off and he had put his head to the ground before. It's like, yeah, Thorkill's a day away. Or, oh, wait, there's a horse up on that ridge there. Yeah, they're the scouts. Good call. So he recognized that the people meeting them were not the envoy kind of thing. It was people who were about to hunt them down because, was it Danish they don't like? Yeah, Danes. Alright, so the horse gets shot, which is rude. They all take their positions. Askeladd is saying, don't shoot back. Thorfinn's also been assigned to the prince to keep him safe. Askeladd's just like, envoy of town I can't pronounce. I find your greeting rather bracing. Okay. Do you know what they're saying, Joran? Not a bit, but if they wanted to kill us, they'd hit someone with that first wave of arrows. Just a little show of military might, I expect. They put on a bluff, hoping that I'd give them advantage in the parley. Oh, well, that's just rude. Thrice in these 10 years you have signed a truce with the English, and thrice you have broken it. So that's why they don't like the Danish. I know, Maven. It's not nice to break your word. Our kingdom will not repeat England's mistakes. We will seize the prince and use him as our shield. Even Swine King of Demons does not wish to lose his heir. I don't honestly think he would care that much. Okay, future king of Denmark. That's who they are. I need a globe or a map or something. I think I got one downstairs. Askeladd's just saying, listen to the prince speak, I'll translate. And the prince immediately hides behind his bodyguard. Like, weak as anything. So I'm excited for their, I hope, story arc to gain confidence. Know your place here. However his highness might choose to act, he is above the reproach of the likes of you. Defending him for standing behind him, cowering like a scared child when everyone is there literally ready to die for him. But in all fairness to the advisor, he had said the royal family is a treacherous nest of vipers. Do you have any idea how hard it was for a sickly boy to survive in their midst? The only reason he is still alive today is because he learned to stifle his breath and his thoughts to escape notice. And for his reward, he has glory seekers like yourselves come to take advantage of him. So, he saw a lot of people get killed and learn to be quiet and not say anything or get noticed. Oh yes, something's going on. So the advisor guy, he does not realize that every chick must one day leave the nest. He does his baby bird no favors. It seems you have many tasks ahead. For the sake of this plan you follow, first the bird must fly on his own wings. Yes, I'm aware. So they're definitely got a plan for the prince. Alright, so we got the meaning of Lydia's son pretty quickly. It turns out she was a concubine of some great warrior whose bloodline was thought to have died out and was conquering the world who were, I don't know, the Welsh like some. And she was Danish and gave birth to Askeladd. And he's saying that by him having the blood of both Danish and Saxon? Nope, sorry. I'm half Welsh and half Nordic. So by having half the blood there, he's in a position to get into a high power, especially where he's about to save the prince. And if the kid ever gets on the throne, he'll be in a position of power to steer political intrigue, and that's kind of their plan right now. And I imagine they're also going to train the prince up to not be so cowardly, maybe. Possibly kill the prince who's ahead of him in line, who knows? But that's going on there, and the Welsh guy is all for this plan. He says it's so ridiculous it can't be a lie. His mother, Askeladd's mother, was treated terribly. She was a concubine, but essentially locked in the bedchamber until she got sick, where she was thrown in the stables and eventually died, and he carried her home to finally pass away. So he also says he hates the Danish, just like the Welsh do, but he convinces his men to give up all their weapons to make a show of being held captive by this Welsh leader guy as they go to a safe area. But the advisor guy to the prince refuses to give up his axe, and he's saying, listen, it's just for show, just do as they could slaughter us while we're unarmed. Like, yeah, but my men trust me. Turns to Thorfinn, give up your sword dagger as well. And he's like, fuck off. And he's like, yeah, I can see the loyalty of your crew. He's different. It's fine. And Thorfinn's just like, he's my enemy, not my leader. So it's like, all right, exception for you two. In the wagon, let's go. And they're walking off. Thorfinn gets the prince pissed at him. So Thorfinn calls him a coward and a princess. And the prince is just like, my voice has political weight to it, especially in a foreign land. I have to consider everything so carefully. I'm going with anxiety. Can relate. I'm liking the prince so far. I like characters who can have a very big arc and change from where they start to where they end up. And the meek little anxiety-ridden, doesn't like speaking in public to possible king is definitely a character arc that I'm going to enjoy following if that is what we do. But yeah, so that's all I got. They're on the way to some location. Check in later. Alright, so they end up tracking through the mountains. They're complaining about the cold, but everyone's still listening to Askeladd's orders. They come across this small Christian community village, and it's wintertime. Soldiers need food. They can't carry much food with them, so they're plundering as they go. So they round out 52 people from this village and go to their farm supplies, their winter stores, get all the food, and one of the village buddies is just like, leave us half. Half. We can do with half, please. We beg of you. We have children here, little babies, please. Help us. Like, spare us this. And Askeladd's just like, you don't need to worry about food this winter, or the next winter, or the next. I will have this settled for you. Because they need to take all the food in order to continue their journey. And if they were to leave them with nothing, they will starve to death. Not to mention, if even one person survives, then they will go to someone else, report that they are here, give their location away, and their enemies will be upon them. So they dig a hole, slaughter everybody, and put them in the hole. But there was one survivor, a girl who had been having a conversation about hell and God's laws and listen to Jesus and pray, and you'll all go to heaven. And if one sins, they go to hell. And the mother was saying, oh, I couldn't be bared to separate from my family if someone didn't go to heaven. And the girl, the daughter, ran out to a tree. I thought she had married a Dornish man in secret or something, but I think she just stole a ring. Sorry. I think it would have been cuter if she had just gotten married to someone from a different religion. Fine. But whatever, she stole a ring. She's upset she's going to go to hell for that, because lying and thievery and all that. So she's away from the village just outside. She hid behind a tree when the people came, the Vikings, and the drunk guy who definitely knew Thorfinn's father started screaming, the Danish are here, they're going to kill you all, run, and he gets tied up. She's able to avoid the slaughter, so she ends up just walking through the snow, her entire family gone, and it's very sad. She had a little brother, he was quite cute, and going to show how cruel and conniving and merciless they can be, so good moment. I did like seeing her walking in through the snow completely helpless. I hope we're not done with her. I do hope she comes back around. Alright, so the prince, the guy with the cone head, and the drunk priest were praying over the mass grave of the people they slaughtered. And the guy with the good ears can't hear as well because the snow's dampening everything. The crazy buddy who loves war is very upset that it looks like the war's coming to an end, both because you can't really fight easily in winter. At least they're not invading Russia. And the Danish and the English are coming to more or less a conditional surrender. And it seems like the English are going to give up the majority of their land to the Danish to end this war. And I'm realizing I know nothing about history and wars, because that, to me, doesn't seem like something England would do. But who knows? This was in a time based on a time frame that I know nothing about, which is basically all of history. However, the idea that they had to slaughter the entire village did not work out, because the lady with the ring on her finger had survived, clearly. She told people that there were about 200 people going this way. Crazy Buddy heard about it. Thorkill, something like that. And now he's off to get Thorfinn because he wants to continue his fight and, slaughter everybody else. And Askeladd is all right, you guys go that way. We're fighting these people. We gotta take off. I know the sleds aren't ready. We might have to leave some stuff behind, but let's go. But the prince and the Conehead buddy and Thorfinn are having rabbit stew, and it's sweet, and we learn the prince loved to cook, and his father didn't like him being able to cook, and that we learn a little later, that there's a kind of a succession war where half the kingdom is split. Half want this prince to succeed, other ones want his brother to succeed, and to prevent the kingdom from splitting in two, the king had one of his own sons targeted for execution, so he had wanted this son to be killed so his other son can take the throne, apparently, and Askeladd learns that because he has the Conehead guy killed, starts with an R, his name, and I didn't see it coming at all. Not even a little bit. They're walking through the forest, and because he wants to go yell at Askeladd for continuing on into enemy territory rather than retreating or doing anything else, or just to yell at him for not taking the boats when they had the chance, and all of a sudden, when he realizes something is wrong, spear straight through the back and into the gut. And he has a dying moment that I really appreciate it, because he realizes he's been betrayed, he knows that he's going to die, and the only thing on his mind is the prince's safety. So even about to die, he demands to go speak to Askeladd, and he meets with him, actively dying, calls him a jerk and a traitor and a monster, but makes him swear to protect the prince in his absence, and he does, mockingly, but the duty this man had to the prince, how he cared for him almost like his own child, taught him how to cook and wanted to end this war so he could teach him how to cook a duck. And then the prince's reaction as he lays his corpse in front. He had wanted to see the prince one last time. Askeladd couldn't allow it because, you probably would say, this guy killed me. But he did bring back his body to show him that he had died and claimed he fought honorably. And that is a good moment. It's a good moment. I'm still not completely hooked, but I am enjoying this. Also, my other 2 volume sets have come in, so I will have everything in these pretty editions that has been published. Alright, Askeladd's a menace, so talking to Buddy about how they killed the Conehead guy because he was babying the prince so much and he's a coward and they need him to toughen up, so he'll be worthy for them to follow him, pretty much. They're taking a gamble on whether or not it'll work. And then there's an English buddy, and he's sprouting off about God, and he's watching all of you for your crimes, and Askeladd's people are beating him up. It's like, that's not how you kick him, this is how you do it. No, you gotta go for the jaw. And Askeladd is just like, listen, guys, you gotta go easy on him. We can't get info out of a dead man. And they're like, we are going easy on him. So he comes up, he asks for a pair of scissors. I think the buddy gives him a knife, though, so whatever. Or no, they're scissors. And he says, I got some questions for you. I want to know 3 things. The size of your allied forces, how long it will take for them to arrive, and how they knew that we were here. And he's like, go worship God, apologize, find Jesus, that kind of thing. And he's like, oh, your nails are so long. Whoops, I went a little deep. Chops off the entire finger, or to the first knuckle at least. And he starts screaming. And they're like, hold him down. Okay, I haven't read past that yet. I'm looking for 3 things, as you know. Oh, I went too deep again. Twice this time. And he's just chopping off fingers. Burn in hell, you accursed Danes. You deserve nothing less. If you hadn't come, you burned down my village and you torture and kill my wife and daughter. This is our land. Begone, foul beast. Got a point. So we are the beast. Is that right? Let me provide you with a little history lesson. I would love a history lesson. Listen, Saxon, you'll thank me later. Or you Angles around here, whichever, it doesn't matter. This land did not originally belong to you. Okay, history lesson time. Okay, very brief history lessons. First were the Celts, who worship with the spirits. Then came the Romans, and they got along very well with the Celts, and they traded information and knowledge and culture. Then the Romans left, and you Angles and Saxons were the last to arrive about 5 centuries ago. You did not bring anything for the Celts. In fact, you drove them to the barren parts of England and seized all their fertile croplands for yourself. The English buddy does not believe this, but sounds about right. If we Danes are beasts, then surely you Anglo-Saxons are as well. You stole the land with violence, and now we are taking it with greater violence. Cut to an owl eating a human eyeball. You really can't complain about that. Be silent. Who would believe words of barbarians? And then he goes to chop off his nose, but we get word from the guy with the good ears that an army's coming in the middle of the night and everyone's freaking out, and the English buddy's just like, yeah, that's Thorkel, he's coming to kill you all, and everyone's like, Thorkel, and Ashley's just like, that guy again. So now we're going to the crazy guy. So the prince is screaming, not wanting to leave without Ragnar, not wanting to leave his body behind, or at least having a funeral for him, and no one's having any time for that. They gotta move, and they only got the 3 sleds, so they toss him into the sled, says, you gotta get over it, go on, and he's screaming about, you will do as I command, and Askeladd is just like, he is dead, he's never coming back, shut the hell up. And, some of his men are deserting him to go to Thorkel's side, and never would have happened a little while ago. They were saying, like, hey, we're marching through the snow, notice how no one's left me, no one's betrayed him, like, his men are loyal to him. And someone makes a note about how your luck has forsaken you, Askeladd. And I'm just immediately thought of, like, I don't know the exact quote, like a man makes his own luck or his own fortune kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I'll make this work for me, is kind of what I'm thinking he's got the vibe of. So he gives them a very creepy, angry look, and it's just like, do as you will, choose your leader. Same to all of you. If you want to abandon me, do so. I will not curse your names. But if you do want to come with me, march. I like him as a leader. He's very sure of himself. He has his plans. He's going to follow his own code and who he thinks is worthy of following. So, and I think they sense that in him. To no one's surprise, they march. Oh, God. And then the deserters are running up to Thorkel, and he immediately chops them down with one of his two axes. He's got an axe in each hand. And it's just like, no, we're deserters. We left Askeladd, and we came to work for you now. Cuts them all down. He's just looking at the body pieces going, so that's your leader's name. He remembers Thorfinn. He doesn't know who's chasing after, though. So I'm going to pause here. That's about the halfway point of this volume sets. Overall, enjoying it more. We're definitely getting more violent. I
I still don't know where the story's going to go. I'm mostly interested in the arcs that we're going to follow with the prince, with Askeladd, with Thorfinn. I do like Thorkill as a opponent kind of chasing after them. I also really like a journey storyline, trying to get from point A to point B. So I'm okay with the in movement and the decisions that he's making. All right, I'm hopeful, and I got the rest of the volume sets, so I'm quite excited to see where the story goes.